Welcome to Thursday Night Knives. I'm Bob DeMarco. Coming up, I get an antique Navaja from my brother. I'm going to have to show that off. What's the dumbest thing you've done with a knife? You can chime in on that. I've got a few of those, and we're going to be giving away the absolutely beautiful, and let me pull it out of its special little baggie, the Northern Knives Colorful Filth Bailout. I'm going to put that under this for a second and let you check it out. This thing is so beautiful. It's got the UFO and an Apache helicopter theme anodized on one side. That's anodized a lot like a linotype print or a lithograph, except it's done with anodizing, which is very difficult. So we're going to be giving this away to one lucky gentleman junkie tonight. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be around 11 o'clock. So let me put this little sucker away. Very, very valuable. I don't want anything to happen to it, but until it gets into your hands, if you are the lucky gentleman junkie tonight. So how's it going, everybody? This guy's one awesome dad, they say. OG Blade Reviews, nice to have you here, Dave. Evening, Bob, Jim, and junkies everywhere. It looks like I'm first in for a change. If I don't look back over my shoulder first, staying sharp here. Good to have you here, man. The dumbest thing I ever did with a knife was while showing a 5-inch folder to a prospective buyer at my martial arts school back in the 90s. I dropped it point first into my inner thigh. Oof, lots of butterflies. Holy mackerel, your inner thigh, man. You're lucky you didn't nick the old femoral artery. Marco, nice to have you here, Marco. Evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies, he says. Well, good evening to you, sir. Got my new Fisher hat. Thought I grabbed the new one. This is actually the old one, but I love their hats. James, and their knives. James Hart. Hello, are you still there? I am still here, man. How you doing? Good to have you. Trent Costello. Dumbest thing I've done is, good to have you here, Trent, is use a knife to mark a piece of PVC pipe to know the cutoff position and stuck the knife into my arm. Oh, was a gusher. Lesson learned. Yikes, Trent. That sounds awful. Ground Fog, good to have you here, Ground Fog. It's always shocking how much can come out, even when you don't feel it. Carino 1, nice to have you here, Carino. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Once, while using a public restroom, I had a Spyderco Native clipped in my rear pocket, fall out and in. Didn't realize it until after the flush. Oh, that sucks. That sucks, man. James Hart, well, does the table saw and tomahawk count? And a tomahawk, sure, why not? We can widen it out to blades if it's a respectable kind of blade. Craig Vincent, good to have you here, Craig. Howdy, Bob, Jim, and edgy people. Hello to you, Craig. Hope the evening's good. Sword XXXY, good day, Bob, Jim, and junkies. Well, I hope you're having an awesome day down there. Let me mute this. Why am I getting? Oh, come on, y'all. This is what happens when the family starts getting going. Let me see. All right, boom. No, I'm just do not disturb. There you go. All right. Sorry about that. Not to be antisocial. Matt Lamana, how you doing, Matt? Good to have you here. Live from Virginia, it's Thursday Night Knives. Live from Virginia, it's Thursday Night Knives. Evening, BJ and J's. The old knife in the toaster trick. Ooh, 7 years old. It was 1981. Parenting was sparse. Came to on the floor. I'd like to say I never did it again. I can't. That's good, Matt. Oof, that's good. I'm glad you're still here with us. That sounds awful. Connor Colarusso, nice to have you here, Connor. Awesome, he says. I don't know. That's pretty awesome. You lounging out on that giant crocodile. Woodsman, good to have you here with us, Woodsman. Hi, Bob. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, Harry, sir. Sean Clark, nice to have you here, Sean. Hey, Bob, Jim, and junkies. How's your week? My week has been good, actually. A little short. I did not go to work today, so it was a good day. Just chilled out. Got some stuff done. Jay Corskadden, good to have you here, Jay. Evening, all, he says. Evening to you and that fine-looking pup. Benedict, how you doing, Ben? Ben Odie, good evening, Bob and Jim. He sent me a picture. Ben sent me a picture the other day calling me a bad influence, but I'd say I'm a good influence because in his hand was an auxiliary manufacturing pocket Bowie. So like to influence in that way. I hope you are enjoying that knife, Ben. Jay says, the dumbest thing I did with a knife was let my wife handle one of my knives. Ooh, what'd she do? Have a Knife Day says, when I was a kid, I had a hollow-handled survival knife. I put the mattress of my bed up against the wall and threw it at it, and it went straight into my foot after bouncing off the mattress. I love that. I love that. That's something we can all relate to, I feel like. Sup, suckers, says Chef Rock YC. Good to have you here, Chef. And we suckers are all doing capital Majive turkey. Terminator Joe says, good evening, fellas. Terminator, it's good to have you here with us. Adrian Fighter 35, as always. Good evening, Bob, Jim, and all junkies out there. Dumbest thing I did last week was throw my Voyager Tonto into my AD-10 accidentally. Over here, starting to. It broke off the tip of the Voyager. What? The Voyager Tonto? You broke off the tip? That takes some effort there. Michael Elliott, nice to have you here, Michael. I got his knife right here in front of me. I just redid my sheath concept with it and how I like to carry it. This thing is awesome. This is a Michael Elliott design. There's his maker's mark. And this is on the Gunfighter Customs Gunfighter that he and Jared gave me when I visited them at Blade Show. And I'm loving this knife. This thing is so awesome. So comfortable in hand, so intuitive, and also just nasty. Just a nasty knife. Double edge, of course. It's like the clinch pick, if the clinch pick were designed how I would want it anyway, and how many others see it, because this allows you a place to put your thumb. Also gives you two edges. Beautiful knife. I love this thing. Thank you, Michael. He says, sorry, good evening, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Dumbest thing I ever did was stab my Benchmade 42 into the cap of a beer while holding the neck of the bottle. Looked awesome. Almost stabbed my own hand. Oof. Yeah. Well, but almost is good. I mean, like, if you didn't stab your hand, that's pretty good. James Hart says, 1981 wood shop using the table saw clipped the tip of my finger off my left hand, or of my left hand, and one between pinky and middle. Ooh, jeez, man. Oh, that's nasty. That is nasty. Table saw. Things happen fast around a table saw. Lone Star, good to have you here, Lone Star Dowboy. He says, carry of the day, Microtech Arbiter. That is that incredibly cool Bowie. I would love to have one of those. Chef says, I'm working on some home stuff. Love you guys. Love you and yours. We love you, man. Enjoy the home stuff, get her done, and it's always nice to have a good, solid around the house chore to be taken care of. Makes you feel like you've done something. James Hart says, a few years ago, while splitting wood with a tomahawk, the hawk was very sharp, and it sliced into my left thumb. Yep, nerve damage, but nothing disabling. Here, join the club. Love that nerve damage in the thumb. Angry Tom, good to have you here. Angry Tom's hat next door says, well, the other day I was using my Jack Wolf Midnight fixed EDC on my kitchen counter. It slipped out of my hand and stuck into the top of my foot. I told my wife, sweetie, I'm going to need a Band-Aid. Oof. That sounds nasty. We know how sharp and thin those blades are. I'm sure it had no problem going right into the foot. Lone Star Dowboy says, lost a Swiss champ during training in the Army due to a flimsy Velcro snapper. Velcro, hard to trust Velcro, especially out and about. It gets gummed up with brambles or whatever you're walking through, and then it doesn't stay shut. That sucks. And then you lose your Swiss Army knife. Craig Vincent says, I walked into high school with a Recon 1 unknowingly clipped to my pocket while being escorted to the main office by a security guard. Fortunately, or perhaps unfortunately, no one noticed. Yeah. Mixed blessings there. At least it was you and not some other guy. Steve, nice to have you here. Stephen Roberts. Hi, all. I witnessed my friend whittling. We were sitting around a fire and a mosquito landed on his leg. Then he tried to stab it. He didn't kill it and he bled a lot. Oh my God. That sounds like something that seemed like a good idea at the time. And then the blade sunk in. Will B says, hey, Bob, Jim and Junkies, missed the start, was making fruit smoothies. Ooh, that sounds good. I could have one of those right about now. Jammin' Parker, nice to have you here, Jammin'. Evening, everyone. Victorinox slip joint folded down on my finger when carving. Oof. Was using the tip to drill a hole with a ton of pressure. Oh, shit. And it collapsed. It got me a good 10 stitches, if I remember right. That sounds like a familiar scenario. I've probably come close to doing that many times. Fish Ranch, nice to have you here, Fish. You and your smoking and drinking German Shepherd. I plead the fifth, he says. You cannot plead the fifth here. You must come clean. I stabbed myself in front of a crowd of people with a sword cane when I was showing off, and I hobbled off. Let's just put it that way. At least I lived in the apartment down the hall. Five Door says, greetings, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. How you doing, Five Door? Nice to have you here, sir, as always. Five Door with the awesome collection. Fred Ferbemeyer. Hello, Bob. Hello, Fred. I hope you're doing well. Cheers to you. Will B says, the dumbest thing I did with a knife was tell my wife how much it actually cost when she asked. Not doing that again. That is funny, man. All right, before I put this away, let's just take a quick look. This is my first strike from Very Good Knife Company. I love this thing. This is 80 CRV2 and micarta. Terminator Joe says, dumbest thing, trying to close a stiletto knife, not knowing how to use the mechanism. I tried closing it by knocking it on my desk and got a chunk of my finger. And because of that, I carry it a lot. Well, that's cool. It's like, they say if you cut yourself, that knife owns you, or that's truly your knife. And yeah, so just don't cut yourself with someone else's blade, because that could get uncomfortable. This one I love. I would like a lanyard hole option on this, but that's the only thing I can come up with that's a negative on this knife. This thing is so great, feels so good. From what I've seen other people do, it's a really outstanding knife. Frankly, though, I haven't used it for anything outside. It's been raining solid for like 2 weeks here, and it's really starting to get me down. Haven't been outside, haven't done much of anything outside. Everything's been canceled. We've had flash flooding and stuff. Michael Elliott says, glad you love the Gunfighter. We were happy to have gotten to you finally. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's beautiful, too. It's just nice to look at, and it feels so good in hand. Jesse, nice to have you here, Jesse. Evening all, he says. Evening to you. I put some, Jesse and everyone, I put some clips on a whole bunch of knives tonight, so I'm going to be carrying a lot of new stuff here. Benedict Odie says, yes, the pocket Bowie is great. You're the best kind of bad influence. How's the auxiliary XL Bowie? It's awesome. Asking for a friend, of course. Well, I got the one with the Tsukamaki wrap. I know Dave got the one with the G10 and Mike's sort of signature pattern carved into it. Great knife. I think either way you slice it, it's an awesome knife. And I got this recently from him, and I'm digging this. I got this at Blade Show from him. Lone Star says, had to get an MRI once and forgot to remove the Cold Steel Mini Recon 1 from my pocket. While entering the tube, the knife shot out of my pocket like a bullet past my ear. Jeez, man, that's frightening. Good thing it wasn't a fixed blade come out of your sheath like that. So this is the Mini Spike, or Spike Mini, by Michael Jarvis and Auxiliary Manufacturing. I bought this thinking I might give it to my wife, and then I found a really sweet knife that was more suiting to her. So I love this thing. I'm very glad I have it. It's nice and thin in that taco sheath, and it's really easy to carry in the waistband. So love this thing. Beautiful thing. Someone mentioned auxiliary. Oh, Ben mentioned auxiliary, so I had to show it off. Zachary Schmid, good to have you here, Zachary. Dumbest thing I ever did was cancel an order from TKL Knife. Oh, yes. Yeah. So you might get impatient sometimes waiting, but don't cancel. It'll get there. Have a nice day, says, I'm going to a VFW department meeting tomorrow. I'll be wearing my, nice, Jim Bearing fixed blade on my hip. Yesterday, I wore a stag-handled Buck 119. Great conversation starter. Oh, yeah. with that stag too. And everyone knows the 119, whether they know it or not. They do. Carl Cheetah-nen-nen-nen-Diluski. Good to have you here, Cheeto. Hello, Bob, and all of the crew. It's good to have you here with us, man. That is one heck of a picture. I like that. Clark, it's like R. Crumb meets Ron Jeremy, and it's not like those are too far off subjects anyway. Clark Henry says broke a lot of tips using a knife as a screwdriver. Oh, that's a that's cringeworthy. Of course, we all know now that we're knife junkies, but at some point we've all done it. Split and Slices says, howdy, Bob, Jim, and junkies. Thursday night. It's good to have you here, Byron. Always a pleasure. Fish Rant says, TKL crew. That's right. And my emotional support knife today was a TKL. I'll be showing that off shortly. Alex Kerber, nice to have you here, Alex. Had an itch on my arm with a knife in my hand. Proceeded to scratch with said knife, but the angle was a bit low. Oh, drew blood. It drew blood. That sounds horrible, man. I have a scar. Where is it? Yeah, on my wrist near my hand, and that was from let's see, right here. That was from trying to slice a stale bagel. This was a long time ago. Stale bagel with a dull knife, butcher knife, came right off of that stale bagel, and it was a nasty cut. It wasn't a clean cut because it was a dull knife, and so it left a nasty scar. Ed, heyo, good with you. Good to have you here, man. Dumbest thing I've done is try to catch a Chavez 229 as it fell off a rock when I was trying to set it up for a photo sesh. Safe to say, it got me good. Oh, that sucks. A falling knife had no handle. That's a good one. I like that. Falling knife has no handle. Terminator Joe says, I call it the girl show because it's like the stiletto Elizabeth Berkley in Showgirls had. A bad movie and a bad cut. 6-inch blade, press a button to open it. So you're talking about, that was pardon me, was that a single action where you actually have to pull it back and then you release it? Because those you can't mess with the same way you can a regular one. Eugene Page, nice to have you here, Eugene. I misplaced my Fox Ryu. Oh, I love that knife. That's designed by BlackRock Knives, Ken Vihikite, and had no idea where I put it. Did you find it? Because that Fox Ryu is awesome. It's a traditional style tanto, and Fox did a beautiful job of reproducing it. I hope you found it. That sucks. I hate hearing of lost or misplaced knives or stolen knives. Split and Slices says, so stabbed myself in the gut with a 15V Shaman after cutting off a security bracelet. Yikes. We were taking my grandson on a train ride, bandaged it so grandma didn't finish task. Ointment butterflies. Oh, dude, that just sounds so painful. Right in the breadbasket. My eyes tonight. Steve says, one of the moms at the pool asked to see my knife. I stupidly handed it over. Then she proceeded to try to cut off a metal cap around a champagne bottle. She dulled the shit out of it. That is so lame. That is so lame. And Steve and I go to the same pool. So maybe I'll be able to identify who does that? Come on, were you born in a barn? We know that we don't do that. Just kidding. James Hart says, yes, the bagel cutting problem. I've come close to that. Yes, and a lot of people have avocado hand. Now, I've never had that because I know how to do an avocado, but it was this big thing that was happening for a while when people were opening up avocados. You know what I mean? You circumnavigate it head to tail, and then you pull it apart. And you're supposed to, here's the one half of the avocado with the seed. You're supposed to just go tink and put it in the seed, and then you just twist the blade, comes right out on the blade. Then you just tap it on the side of a garbage can. Boom, you're done. But a lot of people would go, and then go right through the avocado and cut their hand. It just seems like, who does that? Why would you do that? But then again, not everyone think about knives all the time. So I guess that's why. No avocado hand. I want to hear about that. Ray Herman, nice to have you here, Ray. Finally pulled the trigger on the full dress XL Espada. Yes. Oh, cut on my finger right off the bat. Oh man, got cut on the finger. Well, I'm going to show off my Espada with something my brother gave me shortly. Chicks dig the scar now, says Split and Slices. That's pretty cool, man. He just say, you should see the other guy. Eugene Page says, no, I did not. And it saddens me to this day. You will find it. I mean, maybe. How's that for cold comfort? I mean, what I'm saying is if you lost it somewhere around the house or on the property, it's highly likely that it'll turn up right when you don't expect it. If you lost it out in the world somewhere, I don't know, maybe not. Edgy American Blades, how you doing, Shane? Fell asleep with a shaman open at the foot of the bed, woke up a bloody mess. Oh my God, that is a huge nightmare of mine, Shane, because I've gone to bed before with a pocket knife in my pocket, and every time it scares the crap out of me. What if this comes out of my pocket and opens up? I'm not even as worried about myself as my wife, who's I share the bed with. God, so you gotta always check your pockets before you get into bed. The bedside table is close enough, Zachary Schmidt said, Bob, your TKL knives are making your cold steel knives in your collection nervous. Well, in terms of numbers, cold steel definitely has it on my TKL. But I hear you, man. That's pretty funny. It's true. I love my TKL knives, man. Terminator Joe says there's a safety latch. You have a safety. Sorry, I'm such a reject. There's a safety latch you have to pull down so the button can engage. It's a switchblade. Don't know what it's called. Came with a mystery knife box. That sounds awesome, though. I like stuff like that. Skinned the side of my big toe off. Oh, oof. Wilby says, Bob, I sleep with a folder and fixed blade under my pillow. Just be careful, man. Just be careful. Just be careful. That makes me nervous for some reason. Makes me more nervous than having a gun under the pillow. Though I don't keep a gun under my pillow. That would be uncomfortable. Let me show you two knives. I was just talking with my daughters, and we were regaling them with stories of when they were born. And of course, I had to pipe in. I remember the knives I was carrying when both of you were born. So my first daughter, this is what I was carrying. My cold steel Spartan. And I remember the summer I had this. This was, I think, the first summer I had it. The blasted blade would rust because this was, I think, the first summer we moved down here to Virginia. Super humid, and in the summer especially. And I remember I was doing, very active, and this would be in my pocket, and the blade would rust. So I took sandpaper to the blasted, I guess it was medium blasted of some sort, sand blasted blade, and just sanded it down, because the blasted blades, if you look at them under an electron microscope, have a bunch of little tiny pockets and blasted into them, and those pockets can collect water, especially sweat, salt water, and rust it real quick. So I just kind of knocked all that out with some fine sandpaper, and I love the way it looks. I did that with this and several other cold steel knives. But anyway, when my first daughter was born, I was carrying that. And then when my second daughter was born, I was carrying this. This is the Boker F3 by Vox. And I remember when this knife came out, or maybe the year before this knife came out, the custom version of this, only of which 10 were made, I believe, it was tipped down, were really big on the internet with the people I was following at the time on Instagram and on YouTube. And I guess it was YouTube at the time. So I really, really loved the custom version of this. And then when it came out by Boker, again, it's Boker again, releasing a knife that would be very, very, very hard to get. Like the other one, my other favorite is the Charles Marlowe. So nice, big, thick slabs of titanium. You got an S30V clip point blade. Really, really nice. So these are the knives I was carrying during the births of my daughter. So I will never get rid of these blades. Of course, the cold steel is on the no-sell list just by dint of the fact that it's a cold steel. But that Boker F3, I'm keeping. What can I say? Keeping it. Sentimental sap right here. Shane says, imagine cutting the cord with this Spartan. Step aside, nurse. There's only one way we do it in this family. Craig Vincent says, folks, don't forget to deploy the like button. Couldn't agree with you more, Craig. And let me just show this off again. This is our Gentleman Junkie giveaway knife for the evening. Thanks to Mike of Northern Knives and Colorful Filth, Paul Munko. So Paul Munko, Mike Wharton, coming together with their companies to do these awesome collaborations. I think this is the third or fourth one they've done. This one, of course, anodized. You can see the attack helicopter pilot there, and you can see up through his canopy and see the radar thing, and that sits atop the propellers. You can see the propeller blades and some sort of weirdness on the blade. I think glass breaking or something like that. Prototype, it says. And then over here, you've got your explosions, your UFO, and then in the center, you got your double Apaches coming down on you. So if you're not a Gentleman Junkie, become one in the next half hour. If you want to win that knife, just go to TheKnifeJunkie.com/Patreon, and you will automatically be entered into this. Yes, we do a lot of giveaways on Thursday Night Knives, pretty much weekly at this point, thanks to the generosity of Dave of OG Blade Reviews, who sends us all these awesome knives to give to you guys through me. But on Thursday, third Thursday of every month, we do the Gentleman Junkie giveaway, and it's always a little bit more special. So that's the knife tonight. Sorry for holding back all those comments. Who else is next? Who else is there? I wanna see. And as you bring them up, I will do the shipping. Soul 7, nice to have you here, Soul. I want the Cold Steel sword cane. Okay, I have one of them. I have the heavy duty one. There's one that's like it's got like a stabbing, like a thrusting sword that's a little bit shorter, and that's like for a night out on the town in your tuxedo and such. That's the one you carry. But just for out and about, walking the dog, you want the sword cane with the big. I think they call it the heavy duty. It's got a nice long blade that's sharp on the back edge, about 6 or 7 inches, and then fully along the main edge. Very cool. Donald Fry, nice to have you here, Donald. Howdy, Bob, Jim, and fellow junkies. Dumbest thing I did with a knife was I stabbed myself in the palm opening the cryovac on a brisket. Hey, at least you were opening a brisket. God, man, I love brisket. And I just learned in really no uncertain terms, I got to lay off stuff like brisket. So every once in a while, let's just say. Bobby Rains, nice to have you here, Bobby. Maker of the amazing Rainmaker Bowie and others. He says, evening, everyone. Did you get your slap jacket blade? I did not. I saw one table that had them. Well, first of all, I did not make it to every table. So sad about that. I just didn't have the time. I do a lot of talking, a lot of gabbing, and I just couldn't make it over there. So that just underlines next year I definitely need 3 days. But no, I did not see. I think I saw one table with some slapjacks in the in like a jar, but they didn't look. They were all right, but they looked old, and actually some of the leather looked kind of dry. Terminator Joe says the Spartan was my first cold steel. So thanks for asking, Bobby. I appreciate it. If you come across anyone who makes good ones, do let me know, please. Terminator Joe says the Spartan was my first cold steel knife. Awesome. I was skeptical about the company because there was a YouTuber who said they made the best weapons. Bought it, liked it, then bought the Espada XL. So cool. Let me show you what I want to show you the Espada XL and then something else. Todd Carr says, evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Carr. Good to have you here with us. Steve says, I believe the shapes on the blade are asteroids. Yeah, maybe. They look like, yeah, I think you're right. I think we're flying through an asteroid belt. I think you're right about that. Victor Blades, nice to have you here. Hey, Bob, what's going on, Paisan? How you doing, man? Hope you are well. I am. My addiction is getting worse, and I just thought I'd share the good news. Oh, dude, let's hear what it was. I picked up McNeese's Mac 2. That's nice. It's shredded my thumb, but it's an awesome knife. The stud is unforgiving until you learn pressure points of the knife, and the lock bar is super sensitive. That is a bummer sometimes. But yeah, sometimes you just find where you hold. This is not the case with this one, but sometimes you just gotta learn where to hold it, and usually it's on the clip. So awesome. I love McNeese. I think he's cool, and I love his blades. Okay, so now let me show you this. Jim's a New Yorker comic book artist now. Let me show you this. I got the XL Espada here for size comparison. Now here is something my brother got me. I'll open it. Let's see. Yep, he got me an old traditional Navaja at a gun show, and it's got the ratchet lock. Someone at some point bent the lock a little because they probably couldn't figure out how to do this. So I have to kind of push it in and seat it in there. But look at that beautiful blade. I mean, that is a classic, beautiful Spanish clip point shape. Hollow ground here on the swedge and here, full thickness right there. Just beautiful. It's somewhat sharp. It would, if I were to use it, I'd want to sharpen it. This sort of faux mother of pearl. I think it's faux. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be faux. There's a lot of it. And a beautiful horn-shaped handle. Just a gorgeous traditional Navaja. So I'm really psyched. Thank you, Vic. This thing is so cool. Look at that. Look at that. And it's the size of the Espada XL. So these were the knives. This was the answer, the response that Spaniards had in the 1600s, I guess, 17th century and 18th century, somewhere around there. Sorry, guys. When they were no longer allowed to carry around swords to settle their beefs. So they created these giant, large folding knives that had the menacing ratchet lock. So when you open it, it makes that sound, and people know that something's about to happen. It's about to go down. Very, very cool here. And then to undo it, you just push up on this like that, and then close it like that. And it's called Al Amigo Jorge de Paco. Let's check that out. Sorry for my atrocious accent. But you know what? It occurred to me recently. I was talking to my wife, and she's bilingual, and we were talking about people having bad accents, Americans having bad accents when they speak European languages, for instance. Oh, he's got such a bad accent. And I was like, you know what? We never ask people to have American accents or British accents when they speak English. I know that a lot of Indian folks do because they learn, because, you know, India was a British colony, so they learned English the British way. And you'll hear a lot of British or a lot of Indian people speaking English with a British accent. But in general, when a Spanish person or a, you know, an Indian person or whatever speaks English here, we don't expect them to flatten their voice like mine and speak in English like I do. You know, we accept and we say, oh, you've got a beautiful accent, when they say something like, Roberto, you are very handsome. You know, like, oh, wow, that accent. Oh, that's great. We don't say, oh, you don't have your accent's no good. So I would say that next time someone faults you for not sounding like the natives wherever you are speaking. Anyway, Jacob Vargas, good to have you here, Jacob. Hey, Knife Junkies, he says. Hello to you, sir. Hope the battle's going well. Jay Demeter, nice to have you here, Jay. Keep taking turns until you chicken out, then lose or get stuck in the foot and win. Are you talking about what's it called? My uncle used to play it. What the hell is it called? Tiddlywinks, right? Tiddlywinks. Evening, junkies. Hashtag knife, says Ginger Fisher 75. Ginger Fisher, this is the one night a month where it's not an open giveaway. This giveaway goes to one of the patrons, one of our gentlemen junkies. So you could become a patron tonight to try and win this. But almost every other Thursday Night Knives, we do a giveaway, especially lately. And that's when you do the hashtag knife. But on this night, I am sad to say the third Thursdays are reserved for Gentleman Junkie patrons, sir. Adrian Fighter 35, nice. So I already greeted you. Whoa, nice genuine Espada. I've been wanting one for so long. And my brother, man, he just makes it happen with all these. A lot of these are from him. These cool historical blades that I love. Jerry C says, hope everyone is doing well. Jerry, I hope you're doing well, man. Things are great here. Ira Hayes, Is it because we're more of a melting pot than other places, so we're expected to more accent or exposed to more accents? Yeah, that could be. That could be. I mean, there's nothing like if you're speaking the language, like if I used to speak a lot of German, and I definitely leaned into my accent because like hopefully you love the sound of this other language that you're speaking, and so you want to make it sound as good as you can. Um, and especially for the Romance languages. I love French too. French, I love the way Polish sounds. So I certainly, if I were to speak those languages, yes, I would, I would go as hard into the accent as I could. But I think to expect people to have a flawless accent speaking someone else's language is, you know, it's just another way Americans like to hate on themselves. Soul7 says, "Do you by chance have your cane nearby to show a glance of?" I don't, but I will have it not next week because there's no Thursday Night Knives next week. But the following week, I'll have it down here. No, I keep it by the front door, actually, because sometimes I'll carry it if I go out late at night, or, you know, it's good to have a sword by the door that doesn't look like a sword, basically. Have a Knife Day says, "I found a pre-GSM Cold Steel Black Sable." Oh, I love that. It's like their version of the clasp knife, and I love it. I saw the new black table. Oh, I saw the new black sable at the Cold Steel booth during the show. I just picked up the forge. Carbon fiber handle version with the XHP steel. Oh, dude. Excuse me. That sounds awesome. Wait, the black sable. Is that the clasp knife? Now I'm not sure if I'm thinking of the right knife. Todd Carr says, "I've done lots of dumb stuff like prying open doors, houses, and cars, playing catch with them, lots of bushcraft stuff, and you should probably not use a knife for drilling holes and such." No, sir, you should not. It's funny. Tomas of Tactical Tavern, I was hanging out with him a little bit at Blade Show, and he can't put a knife in his hand without throwing it up and flipping it. And I say that in a kind of an amazed way. I'm pretty good at, I guess, throwing up a knife and catching it by the handle, but I don't know, man. You know, here, check out this knife. He's like, whew. It's like one of the ways he tests what the knife is like. Gary Bucco, nice to have you here, Gary. Greetings, Earthlings and Knife Junkies. Well, hello to you. Bob and Jim, I love your show. Just saying. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate that, man. That puts wind in the old sails. James Hart says, "Not tiddlywinks, it's mumbly peg." That's what it is. Not sure I spelled that right. You're right. Mumbly peg. That's funny. Not tiddlywinks. What's tiddlywinks then? Mumbly peg. Yes. I can hear my Uncle Bob saying that right now. Lark Bark, nice to have you here, Lark. The English accent is arguably the most admired and imitated accent globally. Yes, and there's a thing that I've noticed all my life, and it's true, that when I hear a British voice, I'm immediately slightly more trusting. Now that I'm older, of course, I back off of that as soon as I catch myself, you know, because an accent doesn't mean you're more trustworthy, but it's like, yeah, if you say it in a British accent, I believe you more, like on a commercial or something. Strings, what's up? Good to have you here, man. What's up, Captain Bob, Jim, and all you knife junkies? Dumbest thing I've done with a knife is probably to lose the old timer my uncle passed down to me. It wasn't expensive, but very sentimental. That breaks the heart, man. I hate hearing that. Ron Crow, howdy, knife junkies. It's good to have you here, Ron, and everyone else, he says. Speaking of strings, this is the knife I traded with him, so maybe this is part of one of the dumb things he did. Then again, it was a good trade. I hope he liked the knife he got. Jacob says, "Hit that like button, hit that thumbs up." Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate you, man. I love this. I love the way this feels in hand. I love the look of the blade. It is what is it, N695, so apparently it's a pretty soft steel, but let's face it, I'm just using this to duel and just to cut down suckers. So I don't need it to baton through wood. Of course, you know, I'm just kidding. What was the Have a Knife Day was saying? It's got the Persian style blade that terminates into a tanto. Oh, yes. Perfect for cold weather clothing. Yes, man. Or for piercing cold weather clothing. I love that knife. That is a beautiful knife. And I remember when that came out, I was like, I just have to have that. And I never did, never got it. But now that it's back out, I guess my chances are better now. Jay says, playing chicken with a fixed blade, sticking the knife between opponent's foot and moving knife to foot to lose, sticking the foot, or quitting. Mumbly peg. Yes, sir. I said tiddlywinks. That's the thing you play with jacks, I think, or marbles or something. But we're going back to even before I was born. Zachary says, I'm usually carrying a Tekel knife, but today I'm carrying a Bastinelli DBS, deep brain stimulation, with a dark red Tsukamaki wrap, and a handle in G10 VG10 Sanmai. That sounds awesome, man. I have a Tsukamaki wrapped anomaly by him with that beautiful deep red lace. So nice. Tiddlywinks was after Spin the Bottle, I think. Oh, Byron. Yeah, it sounds like it actually, doesn't it? OG Blade Review says, in case this audience hadn't seen it, there's an excellent article on Randall Made Knives in Fortune magazine entitled $500 Rolex of Handmade Knives. That's a freaking great title. I love that. Tiddlywinks is played with small round discs, quarter-sized, if I'm not mistaken, says James. Okay. Yeah, and something about bouncing them and catching them or something. Ray Herman says, get on the text list for Cold Steel Company and the XL Espada, half price. Love the Espada. Everyone should have one. Every household really should have an XL Espada. Cliff Brot, that's German for bread, right? Cliff, good to have you here, sir. Hello, everyone. Sorry if I just butchered your name. Sorry I'm late. We'll forgive you. What are you holding up there? Is that a duck? I can't tell what that is. It looks like you're holding up something. Angry Tom's Hat Next Door says, okay, Bob, I went to Patreon. Hopefully I did it correctly. I would like a chance on winning that knife tonight. Looks pretty awesome. Okay, Angry Tom, we'll get you in the list. Right under Adrian Sanchez. Yep. Cool. Thank you for signing up. Send me your address. Email me your address at TheKnifeJunkie@gmail.com, and I will send you stickers and a coaster. I think I can do that to you tomorrow. And then if not tomorrow, then not for a whole week. So get me your address as soon as possible. As a new gentleman junkie, you get stickers and a coaster. Strings says, I tried to send you some pics of an old Bowen Bowie I picked up last week. Don't know if you got them. Nope. But it's an awesome blade with a zero grind back edge. Great for back cuts. Strings, I remember you and I had difficulty with pictures during our first trade. So not coming through, but try emailing them, or I can't remember how we solved that problem, but we did. So I'd love to see that knife. Cliff says, awesome, you knew that. Well, what can I say? Just having just spoken about German, I had a pretty good experience with German. If I had kept going, I would have been awesome. But I mean, we could say that about everything. Jay Demeter says, just picked up Cold Steel 4-inch Frenzy, working the action. That's a sweet little knife. That is a sweet little knife. I have not found it that I have to have that one, though I probably should just get it. Oh, Victor Blades, what are you doing, sir? Sorry, pardon me. We just ate a big dinner. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is because I had the pleasure of carrying that crazy Tucson Karambit I won on the Knife Junkie podcast. It's a mean one. Oh, yeah, man. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. I hope you didn't get, oh, that's right. There are a couple of crazy Tucson Karambits we got rid of here, or gave away here. Got rid of. All right, sir. I think I'm going to salute you with this. Haven't had this out in a few weeks, but this is a stalwart already of the collection, and that is my Smatchet, my APOC Survival Smatchet, designed by Mike Wallace, who has done a lot of work with Cold Steel and the Demco Bros, and now he's got a bunch of really cool knives. Here's another one, actually, a Puko. I'll show this off in a minute, that he has with APOC survival stuff, survival knives, and I Love this. I've got, let's see, I've got 4, 5, 6, I got 7 apox, and this is still probably my favorite because it's one of my favorite blades from history, and I've always wanted one, and there's never been one within reach. And here's this one. And if you like this, it will not break the bank, so go check out Apox Survival. They got a lot of really cool stuff. Victor, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. And there's your salute, and here's your swim by. It's like a great predatory fish swimming through the screen. Thank you so much, Victor. Glad you like the karambit. All right. Jacob Vargas says, Bob, I've been seeing some nice fighter bowies from the shot, but you and Tim Kell need... wait. Hang on. Bob, I've been seeing some nice fighter bowies from the shot. I think you mean SHOT Show, right? But you and Tim Kell need... What? You're leaving me on tenterhooks. I'll show you my favorite new T-Kel. Have a Knife Day says, spoken in an English accent, they all reissued the Cold Steel 60 series Hamamoto liner lock carbon fiber 4-inch PVD. Oof. So beautiful. That black carbon fiber is really nice. Isn't there a little bit of red swirled in there? Or I think one of their new knives has that. Maybe that's that Ski and Do. Zachary Schmidt says, Bob, you got to see pictures of the Bassinelli DBS. They will have a smile on your face. Is that the one that's kind of like a push dagger, but it's a long triangular spike blade? I love the name, though. Deep brain stimulator or something. Victor Blade says, hey, what is the historical significance of that giant sword that just swam by? That was a knife designed for use first in World War I, though it came late during the war, designed by Colonel Fairbairn and someone else. And I don't remember who the someone else is. But it's double-edged, and there was a hole, and some of them were bayonet ground, so that it's only half of the top edge that's sharp, but they were meant for fighting. All other purposes were secondary. Definitely they were meant as melee weapons. But it's a big spade-shaped thing, leaf-shaped thing. You could probably do some digging with it if you had to. What army, what culture used that bad boy? Oh, that was the United States. That was America. And Great Britain. Autumn Wind, nice to have you here, Autumn, and a new avatar looking cool. Hello, Bob. Hello, all. Hello to you, man. Hope you're well. Jacob says, Bob, I've seen the design of your collab with Tim, and I'm hoping we can see that collab of your fighter blade. I hope so too, man. I got to call him up, see what's going on with that. But he's got a lot of fish to fry. You know, it's hard to go. He just had a new project with Melissa Backwoods, and, he's doing a lot of collaborations. So Fairbairn Sykes. No, this one was Fairbairn and someone else. But someone a name that we know, like Sykes, but it wasn't, I don't believe it was Sykes. Sorry about that. String says, hey, brother, when will the collaboration with T-Kel be coming? That large fighter will be mine. Oh, yes, it will be mine. And you have to go like this with your fingers. I don't know, but I'll have to talk to him about it. I know we have some new Agent 001s coming out, and those are like really refined compared to the first run. The first run was great, don't get me wrong, but this now has all this gorgeous chamfering, and it's a much nicer. These knives that he's putting out now, he's like taking another step, another level. So yeah, check that out. Let's see. I think it's time. Rex Applegate. Yes, sir. Yes, thank you. I knew actually you're a perfect guy. I knew you'd know it. All right. All that said, I just called OG a perfect guy. You know what I meant. Perfect in a pinch. He's your one phone call on that show where you ask questions that I never saw. What's that called? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Let's now get to a pocket check.
What's in his pocket? Let's find out. Here's the Knife Junkie with his pocket check of knives.
Yeah. A very rare day. I had a small knife in my front pocket. Now, it was super hot in Virginia today, where I am in Virginia, hot and humid. So I was wearing shorts pretty much all day. I'm not much of a short pants guy. That's kind of for kids. But, every once in a while, it's hot enough, I'll put on some short pants. And it was nice to have I'm actually joking about that. But I do love a small, light knife in pocket with shorts, or a very light, large knife. But this is the one I carried. I love this thing. This is the new Jack Wolf Knives JK Collabs Tango, because it takes two to tango. And this is a design collaboration with Cerberus Knives. There's his maker's mark. You see the dog, Cerberus, and a beautiful sort of Sponto style blade, spear point, more of a drop point with the compound grind, super thin S90V hollow ground, straight, and then a flat ground tip. This is a really good knife. I've been using this for a lot of stuff. This has actually been riding in my back pocket quite a bit, and I've used it to break down a bunch of cardboard boxes. I guess that was last week at this point. But really good at everything I press it to. Food tasks at work, this has also done some stuff there. I usually take my lunch to work, but on days when I forget, I'll go to the grocery store close by. I'll get some stuff, produce usually, and I'm trying to change things up. Cut it with this. This has been great. Super thin, super sharp. And that S90V, you're not going to have to do much to in terms of sharpening. Opens up great like this, even though I can't do it right now for some reason. I think it's because I'm on camera, but also not only like this with the forefinger like that, but you can also do this reach around, as they call it. Reach around is something else when I was growing up, but now it means opening your knife in that way. All right. Anyway, had this in my pocket. Jeez. All right, I'm gonna set that down. All right, also in my front right pocket, right next to this, as it was small, is this small fixed blade. This is the Tenable, which is Concept's sort of budget line or affordable line. This is the Tenable Siafu, designed by Dirk Pinkerton. Now, I had the Siafu custom for here for a short while, and well, I had it actually here for a long while. But I did a video on it, and then I sent it to Dave. He's done a video on it, and now I'm not sure if he owns that one or not, but now we both have this Tenable one. His is black with green handles, I believe. His looks awesome too. But I love Dirk, love his work, and this knife is awesome. I love this little knife. It's so comfortable, and also everyone in my house, like, it's comfortable in my medium-sized man hands, and then comfortable in the small feminine hands in the house. We all love this knife. So this one was in my front right pocket next to my Cerberus and Jack Wolf Knives JW Collabs Tango. Whew, that was a mouthful. In the waistband today was this for a large portion of the day. There were some parts where I had to remove it, but this is a beauty. It's the full-size Beckwith from Fisher Blades. So the Beckwith FS. It's got a 4 1/4 inch blade and about 4 1/4 inches of cutting length. Is that right? Well, probably a little bit more. Let me see. Now I got to know. We're going to do a little math here. Let's see. 3 and oh yeah, 4 1/4. Yep. So I guess I already measured it and remembered. Love this thing. It feels so great in hand. It's really nice in reverse grip, just like its little brother. But this one is just more generous in the handle. So, in most ways, a nicer knife to use for that reason. All right, my ESK today. It was in the car with me. It was in my backpack with me in my travels today, and it's one I've been carrying a lot lately. And it is my newest TKL knife, and it is the Sapper. Though this is going to be rebranded, I can't remember what he's going to be calling this. And then the Sapper will be the one that has the line on it. But there is Imre Morgenstern's maker's mark. Looks like kind of like a scorpion right next to Tim Kell. He's the gentleman who designed this, and he's off fighting the war. And but a really good guy, and I love this knife design. I really do. It is so nasty. And what can I say? I mean, this would be a great fighting knife, and I would imagine just combat in general, though I've never been in combat. It seems like this would be a great knife for that, like a great all-arounder and utility knife and all that. And then if you had to press it into a serious combative kind of mode, it would be really great for that too. With that recurve, that center line point, that point is right centered up with the 3 bolts. And in the original versions, there was a straight line etched in there that would go all the way from where the bolts start here to the tip, so that when you are poking this around in the sand, trying to locate mines, you know exactly where that tip is just by sighting down the line that goes down the blade. This one does not have that. ADCRV2 with the tungsten, with the, oh wait, what is the stuff? Someone let me know. What's the stuff they put on their blades? It has that. So that's what I had on me today. Look at that. That's a nice looking lineup here. We got some angles. We got some curves. We got everything you'd want. We have the Tango, the Siafu, the Beckwith FS, and the Sapper. All right, guys, what were you carrying? Let me put these things out of the way. What a great knife. Look at that thing. What an awesome knife. If you like TKL knives, which I know a lot of you do, and you are going to buy one, you can get 10% off by using our coupon code. That gives you 10% off. It gives Tim Kell a knife sale, and it gives me, I get a little affiliate sale thing there too. So we all win here. So it's Bob DeMarco, all caps, all one word, when your coupon code comes up. So just go to tklknives.com, order what you want. Some stuff takes longer than others. They work in batches, but they have really upped their capacity. So go there, order something. It'll take a few weeks, and then when it shows up, you'll be so psyched. They have like 30 or more at this point handle materials you can choose from, and just awesome knives. You know, I love them. And I should say, get yourself an Agent 001, because they're going to be coming back, so you can order one and get on the list to have one. They're awesome. You'll love it. Angry Tom says, Bob, have you thought about doing another knife in the Nova series? Yes, I was just talking with Matt Chase about that. Yes, we are thinking about it. I am thinking about it. I don't have the blade shape yet. I thought I did, but I don't. So I gotta. It started to look too much like the Agent 001. So I'm going to take my time on it. But yes, indeed. OG Blade Review says, today's carry, ESK with the Lon Humphrey Gunfighter Bowie. Oh, God, beautiful. He sent me a picture of it today. It is gorgeous. Forged 51200, 52100 or 51200, and desert ironwood. The Tenable Siafu, that's the one I was just showing. The Microtech Auto Stitch, what a great knife. The Kunwu X-Padre, the off-grid Scorpion, and that was Best Tech OEM, so I think that's the second or third iteration. DC Blades Vendetta, nice choice, and the Tenable Par Fixie. I'm not sure what that last one is, the Par. I love the Vendetta. I've been just digging all of my DC Blades. This one is really cool, named after a dragon, I guess. And then this is really, really cool. I've been carrying this one a lot too. This is the Sting. Anthony Kitchen, nice to have you here, Anthony. The new ProTech Cambria 2 is my favorite, is my new favorite. It's super ergonomic. Cambria 2. I know what that knife is, but I can't conjure it up in my mind's eye right now. Let's see. Jacob says, Gob, did you see that cool keychain knife? Huh. I don't know. I'm not sure who you're talking to. Someone else, I think, unless Bob. Bob, did you see that cool keychain knife? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Victor Blade says, the Tucson Karambit clipped to my right pocket. The GEC number 87 Yellow Rose Spear Point. I love the 86 in a leather slip in my left pocket. I need to carry my GECs more. I have a nice rounded out collection of it. I just need to carry them more. I've been seduced away by Jack Wolf knives. Let's see. Jacob says, nice Siafu. Thank you, sir. I love that Siafu. Zachary Schmidt says, I really like Mike Emler's Habu design. That's a really nice knife. I had that here. I have a video up on it. Mike came out of the gate swinging with his first folder. It's beautiful. It's big. He's a big dude, so it suits him. And it is a convex ground blade and edge. So really cool. Unusual for a folder. Adrian Fighter 35 says those grind lines in the Tango look so nice. Yeah, I agree. I love them. I also love the grind lines here, but I know what you're talking about, the ones in the grind itself. But these lines are beautiful too. This is my new double-edged. I'm coming up with a name for it. Double-edged fighter from Dirk Pinkerton. He handmade this, but he doesn't have a name for it, so I got to come up with something. Something Spanish for stallion is what I'm thinking, because it reminds me of a Spanish Navaja style blade, or like his Spanish Navaja style blade featured on the Night Horse. And so I figured maybe figure out a cool name for it. But anyway, I put the clip on this one today. I'm doing that with a whole bunch of the knives I got at Blade Show. I did this, really nice. It fits great. And I've got that Ranger band. Did that with this one too. This is the Ken Brock and Joe Watson Magni. Split and Slices says Cold Steel Recon 1 Tonto, Rough Rider 2612 Modern Traditional Barlow, and Smith's Edge Sport 9-in-1 multi-tool. Oh man. I love the Cold Steel Recon one. I'm thinking I need to get a Recon 1 Tonto. I've had two before. One I sold, one was stolen, and I just think I need one back in the collection. Jacob said, did you get any Damascus blades from the show? I did not. Nope. I have massive respect for Damascus. I love the way it looks, and sometimes it's absolutely beautiful. But I tend not to go for them, and I'm not sure why. But I do know that the knife I have coming, custom Bowie I have coming to me, has a beautiful Hamon. I almost prefer a beautiful Hamon line than I do Damascus. Lark says, I must say, those are some truly impressive looking knives. Thank you, man. Thank you. Like I made them. I just picked them out. Craig Vincent says, Cold Steel 8010 in 3V, the SR1 Light Tonto. Mine is out here somewhere. The Talwar, the XL Talwar, the Frenzy 3.5, the Goldeneye, the medium Twistmaster drop points, some deep cuts here, man, especially the last one. Spyderco Manix 2 XL, Manganas Purple Haze Kaimano, Kaiser Phoenix, Rough Rider Stoneworks Peanut. Beautiful. I love the Peanut. I love all of those. And Manganas, if you like that Manganas, you need to seek this Manganas out. This is the Manganas Steel Aurelia. I've been carrying it nonstop. I love this thing. Snapper baby. Adrian Fighter 35 says today's carry was my usual Cold Steel Double Agent 1 serrated and the Recon 1 clip point. Man, it just doesn't get more classic than that. Well, I guess it gets maybe a little more classic. Miguel Mayertinez, good to have you here, Miguel. Cut my head shadow stabbing. Oh, cut my head shadow stabbing with my Demko Armiger dagger. More than a few beers. 16 staples. Yikes. All right, so I do a lot of shadow stabbing too, and I can imagine. I mean, I've hit my head with my own sticks doing Carenza and doing Kali more times than I would like to admit, but haven't yet done it with my Armiger. Knock on wood. King of Knives says those Beckworth Tontos look so good. Yeah, they do. They are pretty sweet. Well, I'm glad I didn't hit my screen. Will B says, ooh, someone finally got a sapper. Oh, all right. So when someone said snapper, they were talking sapper. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The sapper. Love this thing. I know, Will, you've had one for a while, haven't you? And I think yours probably has the sapper line on it. Roman M. Hey, guys. Hey, Roman. How you doing, man? I've always loved the name Roman. The sapper. T-Kel, baby. Yeah. T-Kel, baby. This feels so good in the hand, I got to say. So good. Zachary Schmidt says, does the beak get in the way on the sapper? The beak. No, the bird's beak here, no, it's super comfortable. Super comfortable. And then as on all of their handles, these grenade grip divots really aid in the comfort. Your fingers just naturally fall into place. You got big meat hooks, they still are in the right place. You got thinner fingers like mine, still in a good place. So no, this is great. And then this, they've improved the choil area. That choil used to be too small, apparently, to do that. I just don't remember that, but I've heard people say that. So some changes here, and what a great knife. Love this thing. So I feel so grateful to have this. Strings, hey brother, just joined as a gentleman junkie. Awesome, man. Want to support the show and maybe win that sweet knife. So you're the second one who's joined today. And so we had Angry Tom's Hat Next Door and Strings. So Angry Tom and Strings. I just have to remember that. Well, I don't have to remember that. I'm sure Jim has put that in the list, but Angry Tom and Strings. Zachary Schmidt, I'm going to write it down. I don't trust myself to remember anything. Let's see. I'm good. But I just want to make sure I don't mess this up. Angry Tom and Strings. I've got such good handwriting. I'm just kidding. Zachary says, nickel boron. Thank you, sir. That's what's on the Cold Steels. Nickel boron. Will B loves his sapper. Such a great knife. Anthony Kitchen says, got the TKL Nightshade on the way. Awesome, man. You will be very happy with that. I almost got one at Blade Show, but I got this. I got my little one instead because it also has that wrap from Tom Nugent of Knives by Nuge. So that was my two TKL. I definitely have to put a fob on this though, because this is a 2-finger knife and I need some more to grip onto. Beautiful little badger claw sheath too. Badger claw, is that what they're called? Yep. Badger claw. Awesome little sheath. That's another great drop in the pocket fixed blade. James Hart says, I didn't leave the house today and I didn't even use a knife today. I'm so ashamed of myself. Hey man, it happens. It happens. We have to be here for each other. And I know that if you needed to do something, you wouldn't be using scissors. You wouldn't be using keys or anything else. You'd be using a knife. So look at this thing. This thing is so beautiful. It's a favorite Watson design, and it's so cool to have it made by Ken Brock. Jacob Vargas says TKL equals the meat and the potatoes. Yeah, meat and potatoes, big time. Miguel Martinez says, just got the Cold Steel Tonto Light, cheap version of the Master Tonto. Yes, that is a good one. Not bad. Fits perfect in Master Tonto sheath as well. $50 US. Really, for the Tonto Light? Maybe I'm thinking of a different version. I love their Tontos. I love everything. I love Cold Steel. No secret. Got something in my throat. Jacob says, I love that TKL 001. Well, Jacob, go to the website. They're working on a new batch of them, and I think they're out in August. I think they're going to be done in August because that's what he was asking one of his guys at the table. I asked him, and they said August. So that's not that long to wait. It's just the end of the summer, and we're almost a third of the way through. James Hart says, but tomorrow I should be getting my newest kukri that has a D-guard, like the D-guard Bowie. How cool, man. That sounds awesome. Well, I'm getting a D-guard kukri. I'm getting a D-guard kukri. That's awesome. Anthony Kitchen, I tried Bob DeMarco, but ended up using Tac Tav for 10%, buddy. You could have gotten 10% from Bob DeMarco. There's no K, it's C-O, Bob DeMarco. Yeah, but Tac Tav works too. You still got your 10%. That's good, and he got his sale. So Jacob Vargas says today EDC is the TKL PD1 neck knife. That's this little sucker, and the Civivi Damascus flipper. Awesome. I like their Damasteel. That Pinkerton blade is a must in the collection. Yeah, man. And look at the beautiful handle too. Beautiful. Beautiful. String says, in the pocket today, a Gia Vendetta with mammoth ivory handle. Not sure about that. I don't know that knife. Sounds cool, though, with the mammoth ivory. Rockstead Higo, too. Ooh, an aristocrat. And a Leatherman Signal. Very nice, Strings. That's a great setup. But what's the gill? I need to know. Zachary Schmidt said, I would call that knife the sail because it sails through an adversary. Hey, that's pretty good, Zachary. I like that. Jacob says, I do prefer a Hamon as well. Yeah, something about the irregularity. I love the Japanese style. Yeah, you can kind of see that. Zachary says, also the Spanish are known for sailing. That's right. And at one point being conquerors. Bob, you now have greater Manganas Kung Fu. You now have greater Manganas Kung Fu. No, I think your Kung Fu is pretty awesome too. I had a chance to check out the last two of that knife, that Manganas knife, the Tanto, and what a great knife that is. Beautiful. And but the Aurelia. Luke says, Luke Horning, nice to have you here, Luke. That's the biggest T-Kel I've seen. I think it's the biggest one they make. I do. I think it's the biggest one. Dang Bob K. Dang Bob K. Not sure what that is. But yeah, dang. My wife says dang. I like that. Okay. Are we going to do this? I think it's time. See, we're running up to 112. Okay, let's see here. Hang on. I think I missed a. Okay, both are entered on the wheel. Thank you, Jim. All right, it's time. It's time. Let's put this out here. Here it is. There's the clip. That clip will be obviously in there. It's not on there now so that it does not hurt the knife. I'm going to open it up and then we will spin the wheel. All right, but first, let me read our list here. Okay, I'm going to read this with these guys, the new guys in here. We have Adrian Sanchez, Angry Tom, Five Door, Ben Belkin, Billy Ford, Byron Kennedy, Colin Maison-Pierre, who I had the good pleasure of seeing at Blade Show. Good to see you, Colin. Craig Vincent, Donald Fry, Doug Bowl, EDC Gear Guy, Edwin Callow, Gavin Colitis, Jay McConnell, Jammin Parker, Jason, Jeff Hamilton, Jeff Wright, Jesse Graybear, Jesse Tellis, Jock's Knife, JVF, Larry Elizondo, Martin Gamboa, Matthew Lamana, Never Enough Knives 007, Pat D's Nuts, Ronald Reimer, Scott Nelson, Sean Welford, Strings V2, Thomas Butler, if I didn't mention him, sorry, Northern Knives, and Will B. Thank you guys. Thank you one and all for being gentlemen junkies. It's so appreciated. And thank you to our newest junkies, Angry Tom's Hat Next Door, and Strings. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Good luck, one and all. Let's roll this wheel. In 3, 2, and 1. And shuffle. Good job. Yeah, good call. Thank you, sir. Shuffle those names up. And here we go. Where it will land, nobody knows, of course. Well, what do you know? Angry Tom. We got a lucky gentleman junkie. Wow, Angry Tom, nicely done, sir. So Angry Tom just joined and just won that knife. Wow, that's awesome. So we are doing a shuffle feature now where we're double shuffling the names to ensure fairness. So not that there's any doubt, but Jim and I were having a conversation and I was talking about how much I distrust AI. And I got to whisper because I know it's going to be my master soon enough. But yeah, and so he was like, well, let's double shuffle. So we double shuffled. There we go. Angry Tom, this is yours, man. Well done, sir. All right, give me your address. Angry Tom, and I have Strings' address. Give me your address, and I will get you this and your coaster and your stickers. There you go, man. Well done. All right, Luke Horning says, I would like the Melissa Backwoods. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's the Piranha handle with sort of a number 2 Warncliffe on it. And you might consider getting the Guardian grips for that. And those are the Century grips. Those are the ringed versions of the Piranha grip. So they extend the handle a little bit. It's a pretty small handle, so you can extend it with those Sentry grips. Jacob Vargas says, be ready for the new T-Kel reverse Tonto. Oh, yeah. I did see that, didn't I? I think I saw that. Wait, reverse Tonto. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of reverse edge, and that's not what I was thinking of. Craig Vincent says, I finally have a few real Damascus blades. I had Japanese-made Amkusta and Kanetsume chef's knives arrive last week. Ooh. I don't know Kanetsume, but I love to look at chef's knives, Japanese chef's knives. King of Kings says, I'm ashamed to admit I didn't do anything today and only wore one knife, the T-Kel 007. Hey, man, no shame in your game. That's a nice one to be carrying around. If you're only going to carry one, let it be an agent. Let it be a 007. That's a sweet knife. I saw one wrapped by... oh, man, something is in the air. I saw one wrapped by Michael Jarvis. It had a really nice look to have that 007 with the lace. Jacob Vargas says, I will be getting that 001 in August then, sir. Awesome, man. You might want to like pre-order it between now and then. Zachary Schmidt says, Tim has come a long way in a short time. He really does specialize in the EDC clandestine style fixed blades, and his timing was damn near perfect. Yes, I agree, Zach. I agree. I remember when he came online, it was right around the time I started carrying fixed blades on a daily basis. Craig Vincent says, did anyone see Scab's recent Cold Steel vids? Pretty cool. No, I haven't. How did I miss that? Oh, yeah. I haven't been watching too many knife videos in the past couple of weeks, I got to say. Ryan Lynch says, grab my first off-grid knives for Father's Day. Very nice. The Sierra Kitchen knife. How cool. I know Steve was looking at that one. Sorry, and an EDC Badger. Just good knives for the price. Okay, Ryan, since you mentioned that, let me show you this. This is the new Cleaver V3 that Carrie just sent to me. I love this knife. Okay, so I'm a big fan of the Cleaver V1, though it's not as pretty as the V3. I mean, this is the V2, I believe. This is the V2. And you can see this one has a lot of wear in that coating. These knives are so thin, so sharp. This thing is an amazing cardboard knife. These are my favorite knives to break down boxes with, the off-grids. Off-grids and my XL cold steels. But these cut like XL knives. I don't know. They're just amazing. Very thin. And he sent me this beautiful V3. I love the way that looks. Kerry said in his note to me, he's going for the what do you call it? Straight razor look on this. So yeah, just beautiful. And I was looking at it, pretty much the same profile blade. Maybe there's more of a sweep to the belly of the new one, but generally about the same. This one, the old one, just has that giant finger choil, which I'm glad he got rid of, and that swedge up front where that hole is. That swedge makes it real pointy and very easy to thrust into stuff. I have not used this yet. This is brand new. I haven't used it in anything, so I got to see how this one cuts. I'm sure it'll cut great, though. These knives are awesome. So off-grid knives. You can also go to TheKnifeJunkie.com/off-grid to buy that. That's an affiliate link with them. But very, very cool knife, and I'm glad you got your first one for Father's Day. What did you guys, anyone else get a knife for Father's Day? Let me know. I got this cool watch my wife got for me that's from this company called Original Grain that does a lot of advertising on like Instagram and stuff. But the whole USP of this one is that wood. The wood is from reclaimed bourbon casks. They also do beer barrels and stuff, and I just really like it. And my wife knows me, so she knew that I would love that. Stephen Clayton Jr., nice to have you here, Stephen. Good evening, everyone. He is our resident T-Kel knives aficionado. I know he's wearing a lot of them today. Ryan Vest, nice to have you here, Ryan. What's the phrase? I'm not sure what the phrase is. hit and like, hit the subscribe and like. Matt Lamana says, today's carry, Aaron Bieber 302. Awesome knife. I love that guy. He's so cool. He's so great. He introduced me to OEG EDC guy from Eddie that I just interviewed. You'll be seeing. But Aaron Bieber is awesome, and he's come a long way. And we went to the same art school, just at different times. So there you go. Oh, and his flippers are awesome. I got a chance to handle his folder. So good. So good. Okay, anyway. Today's carry, Aaron Bieber 302, Station 9, number 9, the Crève Coeur. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. But I always admired that knife. I always thought that looked really cool. It looks like a nicer version of the Roach Belly by Cold Steel. Ooh, 310 Forge Scalper. I have that one. I love that knife, and he's a cool dude. Mike. I can't remember his last name all of a sudden. Kershaw Belair. The ESK today was the Work Tough Gear Atayal. That's a cool one. In case I get jumped by a brisket. Excellent. Jumped by a brisket. Mike. Sorry. Now it's going to drive me nuts. I know it's on the tip of my tongue. I want to say Kavanaugh, but it's not that. So don't get that in your mind. Gillis Knife is a French company, and the Vendetta is a cool, large Warncliffe 4-inch blade with a really unique slip joint mechanism. Ooh, that sounds cool. I'm still thinking about what the hell is Mike's last name. Bama fan. Nice to have you here, Bama fan. Spinner winner. That's right. And yep. Deserved, says Ira Hayes. Yeah, no doubt. Deserved. And a really nice, well-timed join. Luke Horning says, Tom, better change his mood. Angry, I gotcha. Angry Tom better change his mood because he just won that awesome Benchmade. Full disclosure, my dad was like, I hope I win that knife. I love that thing. That is so cool. I was like, Dad, you got a 1 in 30, now 2 chance. So I think it's cool. He took a liking to that. Gary Bucco says, I did not carry it on me today, but my latest acquisition is the MS6 from Stoner CNC. That is a cool one. And so far, I love it. That is a beauty. I love the way that knife looks, and apparently it's stout as hell. Angry Tom says, awesome, Bob. Remind me of your email address. It's TheKnifeJunkie at gmail.com. TheKnifeJunkie at gmail.com. I thank you, sir. Stephen Clayton Jr. says the primary blade has a higher grind on the TKL Rev Tonto. Oh, reverse Tonto 2.0. It's part of my EDC. I'm not sure I know what this is. Damn. All right, I'm going to have to check this out. I like the hole. What? Oh, the holes on the knife. I think he means on the Stoner knife. Bro. Hero Sticks says, evening, Bob, Jim, and Junkies. Good to have you here, Hero. Joining late, but happy to be here. Wait, let's see. Oh, on the cleaver. You like the hole on the cleaver? Yeah, it is cool. It's very reminiscent of an actual cleaver. Jacob Vargas says, I do cut boxes a lot, so I would, a lot. So I would work with that one. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Oh, really, I got to be on it. Any off-grid knife you like is going to be an incredible slicer. Even the one with the most oblique primary bevel, which is the Stinger XL, the original one with the bayonet or the dagger grind, and that still zips through stuff. It's a very thin blade stock, broad blades, and nice gradual grinds. So yeah, this thing will take care of business. And I really like that it doesn't have the finger choil. It's just all the good stuff about this, minus the things I'm not as crazy about, like the hole and the choil. Hero says, Bob, the Tucson arrived safely to my eager and grateful clutches. Thank you. It's a fierce one. Dig it. I'm glad you like it, Hero. Hero won last week's giveaway, all access giveaway, which is what we do pretty much every week, except for the third Thursdays of the month when we do Gentleman Junkie Patreon giveaways. Cliff says, I got a Remet and a Civivi Tanto. Ooh, which Civivi Tanto? Which one? Let me know. Brown Sugar, good to have you here. Brown Sugar 0069. Hello, Knife Junkie. Well, hello, Brown Sugar. Hope all is going well for you. Let us know what you're carrying. Jacob Vargas says, can we see the auxiliary manufacturing dagger? Yeah. Hey, Jim, can you give me a minute? What we'll do is we'll cut to a commercial. I'll go get that dagger and show it to you. It is awesome.
LaunchCart gives you everything you need to showcase and sell your custom blades professionally, all for just $27 a month. With unlimited products, built-in SSL security, and a drag-and-drop store builder, you can create a stunning storefront in minutes without any coding knowledge. What sets LaunchCart apart is its knife business-friendly features, like back-in-stock notifications, integrated upsell capabilities, and a professional review system to showcase customer feedback. Plus, with mobile-ready designs and a professional checkout process, your customers get a seamless buying experience. Try it free for 14 days and see why knife makers are making the switch from Shopify to LaunchCart. Get LaunchCart today. Visit TheKnifeJunkie.com/launch. That's TheKnifeJunkie.com/launch.
Okay, come to think of it, I'm not sure which one you were talking about, so I'll show you. Here's my actual dagger. That's the pocket rocket. I think that's what that's called. And then, or no, it's called something else. It's called the bottle rocket. So that's a dagger. It's got sharp edges. This is the one I showed before, and as we cut to commercial, I was thinking, oh, maybe he meant he wanted to see that one again. So there they both are, both super comfortable. I love this. I love the bottle rocket here. It's got such a great grip. Now, not sure he's making this one right now, though a small version of that, I believe, is coming out with Boker. So a real small version of that. Boker picked up the 302 from Aaron Bieber, so they're going to be making a version of that. And they got the bottle rocket of this, and they've got a lot of cool things going on. Boker always does, but from designers that we know and love. And then here is the spike. So not sharp on the edges, but this is definitely just a good thrusting knife and such an incredible piercing point there. But I jammed it through a couple of layers of cardboard at work, and it's stout enough behind the tip that nothing happened to it. So, and then someone was talking about the large. Here's the XL Pocket Bowie by Auxiliary Manufacturing. So an inch longer in blade and an inch longer than handle, exactly, in terms of this compared to the Pocket Bowie original. James Hart says, "Good night." Can you bring that back up? Thank you, sir. James Hart says, good night, all. James, have a great night and a great weekend. Time for this old man to take a shower, shave his face. See you all in 2 weeks. James, I'll see you in 2 weeks, man. Have an awesome, awesome weekend. Ed says, carried the Rough Rider Standard Express. Not Rough Rider, by the way. RR Standard Express. Okay. Who's RR? Sorry if that was an insult. Cliff says, I don't know. It was Father's Day gift. I don't know. It was a Father's Day gift. Be here the 25th. Oh, I got you, man. Sometimes you just got to take care of that for yourself, and not take care of it for yourself, but sometimes you deserve to get yourself a Father's Day gift. Brown Sugar 0069 says, carried my Pyrite Light today. I was just looking at my Pyrite XL today with the green micarta. What a sweet knife that is. So nice. Great action. Great grind. Now, I have seen some somewhat disparaging knife pound tests from Peterbilt Knife Guy, but let's face it, that's not what I'm using that for. So, but still, it's a little disheartening. Ghost Keeper, good to have you here, Ghost Keeper. Carried the Kubi Velvet Snake, the Asher Blue Twill carbon fiber Spiro, that's a nice knife, and the Tempest Downdraft. On the way, the Miguron Vein 2 DLC and the Best Tech Taipan. That Best Tech Taipan is a popular one. It's a nice looking knife. It looks like a Warncliffe with a broken tip and a really cool radiating mill pattern. Really like that one. Jacob Vargas says the Poker was the one I seen you have. Yeah, this one here, the Poker. It is pretty nasty canasta. Ron Dobbins, nice to have you here, Ron. The Knife Junkie, what up? How you doing, Ron? I hope you're having a fantabulous week. heading into a great weekend. Luke Horning says, very cool. Did you give your wife that spike from Blade Show, or did you keep it? I kept the spike for myself. I gave her, once I found the Guardian Tactical out the front, it was like the special Blade Show knife, and it has about a 3-inch blade and a small aluminum handle with a noggin knocker. It's perfect for her little hands, and it's perfect. She can grip the whole thing and run with it. She needs to hit someone, she can hit someone. If she needs the knife, she's got the knife right in her hand. And it's aluminum body. It won't rust. So I kept the spike for myself. What can I say? Jacob Vargas says 8mm happy. 8M happy, and Tim and Mike will be doing some pieces. Oh, I bet that's I'm happy that Tim and Mike will be doing some pieces. Tim and Mike. Tim and who's Mike? Mike. Oh, yes, right. Okay. Mike from Auxiliary. Like I was just talking about. Yeah, that wrapped 007 was very cool. I don't think that one was for sale. I think that was to show like so it's going to have this, has this wrap on it, and I think that was just for show. But they'll be coming out with a special edition, so it'll be nice and thin. He doesn't do the entwine thing. He just wraps over flat, and so it's a great grip, but it's thinner than most Tsukamakis. So really nice, love it. Ron Dobbins says, carrying my Vero Mini Isotope Integral. Oh, nice! Almost stabbed myself with this thing. And Rockwall titanium scales, and Big Idea titanium pry bar, and Big Idea titanium pen, and G-Shock watch. Okay, so Jim just sent me an article about them. You know these guys? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of them, and I've seen their pens, and I knew that they were they had a booth I wanted to come back to, and I never did. It was swamped, so I didn't get in there, and I missed out. Doing well, Ty, says Brown Sugar. Good to know. It's Thursday night. You got to be doing all right on Thursday night because it's the official beginning of the weekend. And actually today I had off, and then tomorrow I have to go back to work. But today we had Juneteenth off, so I didn't go in, and it was nice. Anyway, Plant Daddy says, I've been carrying around the Rosecraft Otter Creek in blue denim of all things. Oh, that sounds great. I love the Rosecraft and the Otter Creek. That's the one that Scab's been doing the daily testing of forever, I believe. Ron says, I just picked up a James brand Tango knife. Which one is the Tango? This is the only Tango I know right now. Ron Dobbins says, I just picked up the Jack Wolf Tango knife. Sorry, autocorrect. Okay. Yeah, this is a great one. What handle material did you get, Ron? This one is that blasted titanium with the radial pattern. So beautiful. There's a blue Kieranite, I believe, and a couple of different carbon fibers. Let me know. I'd like to know. Ed says, I believe RR stands for railroad. These knives with the aesthetic of trains, pretty cool. You should check them out. That sounds cool. I like trains. I like trains. Northern Knives. Good to have you here, Northern Knives. So sorry I could not join Thursday Night Knives. We had to meet the maker with Paul Munko. Oh, that's awesome. On the Knives, on the Northern Knives channel. Nothing but love for Jim, Bob, and the Junkies. Hope you all like the bailout. Hit that thumbs up. So we have a brand new patron tonight who won that. So that just goes to show you should all sign up because it can happen to you. But yeah, how beautiful. And Mike, by the way, my dad was like, I was telling everyone before, my dad was visiting and he absolutely loves that knife. Thought it was one of the coolest things ever. And he's one of my patrons. So I was hoping he was going to win it. Not that I'm not happy that someone else did, but you know how that is. Craig Vincent says, Bob, I took a time out from acquiring cold steels last week. Then I spotted something Shane had available. I think it's called a Thug. It will be my first piece made by a custom maker. Can't wait. So I have the Junkie right here. This is the one he made for me. The Junkie, this is based on a design I sent him, and it is crew wear. It is very sharp. I mean, it's crazy sharp. It's tall and thin, full flat ground. There's his little stripper logo right there. And like I said, really, really sharp. Now, He and Jay Evans, or Javon as we know him, spent all night sharpening that, taking turns sharpening that with a diamond stone, which by the end of the night was dull, and yet the knife super sharp. So yep, get the thug. Shane had some thugs, and that's the one I think he's most used to making, and that thing is awesome. Oh, all right. Sorry, I'm just seeing notes from Jim. I should just open them up fully here. TY equals thank you, old man. So Brown Sugar, you're welcome. I realize now that you were saying thank you. I now realize that because a man who is my senior by a couple of years had to tell me TY is thank you. I can be dense with the internet language sometimes. Sean Clark says, Bob, do you know anyone that does handle wraps Japanese style? Want to do my T-Kel Ops Hawk. All right, so I don't know if he still does it, but I've had what's his name now? Sorry, the gentleman from Bright for War Knives. It'll come to me in a second. Josh from Bright for War Knives. He does these beautiful Japanese style blades. Like you might look at just buying one of his customs as well. But I had him do a wrap on my Elvia years ago. Now, I don't know if he's, for lack of a better term, outgrown that business wise, like if he does people's handles or not. But look into him. He does a beautiful job. And if he doesn't, then maybe he can point you in the direction of someone who will. But check him out. Again, that's Josh Mason of Bright for War Knives. And you can find Bright for War, all one word, on Instagram. Ed says he designed the knife to honor his dad. Yeah, I believe he worked on trains. Oh, that's cool. The RR knife, not Rough Rider, Railroad. That's cool. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Cliff says, can you explain the new pry bar craze? Well, first of all, not so new, Cliff. And I think personally, and I have a cool, really cool pry bar from Jason Stout. He sent it to me after he was a guest on the show, and I was like, awesome. And I carry it with me every day, and I've never used it. But that's maybe not true, but I have very little use for pry bars. I think some people who work with their hands a lot, maybe work with machines, maybe in engineering, that kind of thing, building maintenance. I could see where they could come in very handy. And it's cool to have, something custom to you. But I also think they got big because people who are gearing up to make knives, but maybe are not grinding blades yet, work on pry bars, cool looking pry bars. They can practice their anodizing, their machining, or their fabrication. And they're relatively cheap compared to knives. So I think a lot of companies do them as side EDC stuff. Plus EDC, everyone loves whatever it is they carry. Mike Cahill, thank you. And so pry bars are just one of those things. To me, I don't need them, but I think I can appreciate them. Matt Lamana says 310 Forge, Mike Cahill, as cool as they come. He's the guy who got me to buy a pipe. Watching him forge with a pipe in his mouth. I was like, here's a young man smoking a pipe. If he can, I can. My scalper shipped late, and he sent me 2 for my weight. How cool. Awesome, dude. Yeah, and that scalper is a sweet little knife. Talk about a thin blade. Man alive. But robust. Really robust. He puts a good heat treat on those 1095 blades. Check him out. Check out 310 Forge, Mike Cahill. Cool, traditional American-style knives. You'll love it. Ron Dobbins says, I picked up the camo carbon Jack Wolf Knives Tango. Very, very cool. I love this Tango knife. Do you like it? I'm digging it. Angry Tom says, thanks for the opportunity, Bob. I sent you my email, and I am not angry tonight. Good, man. I'm glad we could bring some joy into your life. Craig Vincent says, I have a ton of pry bars. They all have cold steel written on them. That's the spirit. Plant Daddy says, I use my pry bar fairly often, but I'd probably swap titanium for steel in most cases. This is what I've often wondered, Plant Daddy. A lot of the pry bars are made of titanium, but hardened steel, it seems like, would be the more effective pry bar. I've used my JB Stout, like I said, maybe a couple of times. Can't think of what for, but I could see titanium, since it's softer, just not holding up as well. But I could be totally wrong about that. SR71 titanium. Hinderer collector, good to see you here, Brent. Hello, Bob, he says. Hello to you, man. I hope you're doing well. And rolling about in your giant collection of amazing Hinderer knives. Ron Dobbins says, hit that thumbs up, everyone. Yes, I highly concur. That's a great idea. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Jacob Vargas says, I regret not buying the Ricardo Villar set at Blade Show, Texas. Super deal. And yeah. I saw Rolando playing around with that. Beautiful stuff. Something in the throat. Plant Daddy says, steel is by far more effective for prying, but titanium doesn't rust and weighs nothing. Ah, yeah. So it's fine. I see what you mean, especially if you're, if you're not prying something so bad. I'm good, sir. LOL. Oh, yeah, he says as he rolls around in his knives. Just be careful they don't open up, of course. Project X. I still have to get a Project X in my life. That's a beautiful looking Bowie fighter there. Bowie folder, I should say. What else do I have? Oh, I want to show you this other one. Well, I guess I've shown you it in the past few weeks, but I'm just loving this freaking knife. And I have it set up perfectly. Now I just have to trim off the ends. This works great for the Sicario by Bald Man Knife and Tool. Really, really nice knife. I just watched him on his channel, on his YouTube page, making a big one. He makes an XXL of this, which is, I don't know, maybe it's 12 inches. It's big. It's beautiful. And I wouldn't mind getting that. I love this knife. I love the way it looks with that really cool toasted linen micarta and natural handle. And I love that blade shape. I've been doing a little bit of shadow boxing with this, and it's got a great blade shape. I also think it's great for snap cutting. You've got that angled down blade. You have that big belly, and bang, bang. I have 61 hinderers now, or a college education. And you know what? You're better off with the 61 hinderers. The way things are going these days, huh? Know what I mean? Jacob Vargas says, yes, I love that blade style. Plant Daddy, $5. What are you doing, man? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Don't spend it all in one place. Have a good night, y'all. Before you go, Plant Daddy, have to give you a salute, a salutation, if you will. I'm just going to salute you with this big, beautiful V44X Work Tough Gear gorgeousness. So thank you very, very much. Who designed this? I'm not sure if this is a Zeke Manacho. Now I forget, but this thing is wicked. I've used it outside with some just light batoning. Works great, obviously. But what an amazing sharp edge they put on all their knives. Here's to you, Plant Daddy. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. All right, and here's your swim by. Look at that thing. Oh, terrifying. Really comfortable handle. Very, very nice. Even nice in the choil up here. Dang, awesome Bowie. Yeah, man. I love this. Keep your eyes on Work Tough Gear and keep your eye for their drops. They have so many cool Bowies, so many cool ones. One that's been, I would like to get this one called, what's it called? I don't know what these things, they're all called stuff. So whatever it's called. I want that one. I would know it by sight. It's got a deep recurve. It's not the Lanzetta. It's a different one. Maybe you guys know it. They do such cool work. That looks a bit like my dog right there, except my dog has one ear that sticks up and one that sticks down, that flops over like that. So any more dumb stories? Let's see. I did the bagel cut. I did the stab in the leg. That's a hammer with an edge, says Cliff. Yes, sir. And it looks so much like the Marine Raider Bowie. I love it. Matt Lamana says, speaking of pry bar, it got the The Bald Man Knife and Tool Thickatros. Yes, sir. 2.75-inch blade, quarter-inch thick, absolute beast. Yeah, I love, this is Bald Man Knife and Tool. I love this design. I have the thicker clipper Tonto. That is a workhorse. Apparently, I haven't really used it for much, except for scraping. I have used it for scraping because it's got that perfect sharp front. Terminator Joe says, dumbest thing I did. Almost doesn't smell like someone's basement. Terminator Joe says, dumbest thing I did was not buy a knife I wanted before it's discontinued. The Espada XL with CTS XHP steel. Keep your eye on eBay, man. Just keep your eye on eBay. That's where I got this beauty. And this was, like I said, in someone's basement for many years. It's got the leather sheath, and it had that mildew smell, but it's almost gone. Yeah, I can smell it if I do that, but it'll go away someday. But this thing is just so, I love this knife. Perfect fighting knife. It's so nicely balanced. It's got the sub hilt, which I love, and a nice thin clip point blade, fully double-edged, beautiful handle here, all of it hafted, and you've got that nice Coke bottle shape. If this is too rich for your blood, I think these new now are like 150 or 250 bucks maybe, and they have a Kydex style sheath or their Grivex sheath. But it's worth finding one with the old school leather sheath with the sharpening stone. I just think it's a classy knife. It deserves a leather sheath. But if this isn't, if you don't want to spend that kind of money on this knife, get the OSS. It is also awesome at a fraction of the price. It's like 60 bucks or something like that. OS 8, double edge, double hollow ground, fully double edged, double hollow ground, as I said. OS 8, and then this is all that sort of rubbery handle that you get from a lot of cold steels, and it still has the guard, the sub hilt, which is slightly soft, and rubbery. It's so comfortable, so good in hand. I've had that one for years. Keep that on top of the fridge in case I need to, you know what I mean? In case I'm, it's like the Nighthawks scene, and whatever. Not gonna go into it. I like that. I like it. I like it. We got a cartoonist on our hands. I love it. Oh, here's a new thing that Jim just came up with, and awesomely so. I have the OSS, says Cliff. It's pretty sweet, isn't it? I really like that knife. Bob is freaking awesome. This is a freaking awesome show, brother. And thank you, Jacob. I appreciate you, man. I was going to say, Jim came up with it's a new something that patrons will be getting, and it's the knife tip of the day. And it is really cool. And actually, you take these and print them out and bind them together, because he's putting illustrations and all sorts of cool pictures, and you put that make a book out of it. Just, punch holes in it and put it in a binder. It's good to go. Yeah, so just go to theknifejunkie.com/Patreon, and that's how you sign up. Let's see. I've shown a lot of knives tonight. I'm trying to show more knives because, man, I got them. Here's another cool one that Justin of DC Blades gave me. This is his design that he just did with Tops knives, called the Ephira. I keep forgetting to look up what that is. I think it's something from Greek mythology, but just a nasty, nasty little blade. He assures me it could be great for EDC stuff and even for camping and food prep and stuff. But I mean, come on. To me, yes, it might be, but to me, it'd be a waste if you weren't carrying it as a self-defense. It's so self-defense-y to me. And actually, the shape of it is good for this kind of hooking and trapping. Of course, that's a quick, temporary, momentary move. You're not retaining, you're not holding on to someone like this. You're just scooping their arm to get it out of the way to do something else. But also you get that tip and man, I love this. I love this knife. I'm sorry. Adrian Fighter 35 says, just dropped my OSS while watching this show. See what I mean? It's what do they call that? Provenance. Show us your favorite from the show. It's very hard. Can I show you my 5 favorites? No, I can't. Okay, they're all awesome. They're all that sounds so stupid. They're all favorites. Maybe I'm going to go with this for now. It rotates. I'm going to go with this, the Manganas Steel Aurelia. And I think maybe that's because I've been kind of off of the folders for a while and more into the custom fixed blades. And I got a lot of really cool custom fixed blades, but I knew going to the show that I wanted to get one special folder like I have the past couple of years. And this is what I wanted to get. And I went to go buy it and he gave it to me. And so it's got a lot of special meaning. A lot of these knives were given to me, and I'm very, very, very grateful. But I guess I'd say this one right now. Highly recommend it. I don't know if he's got any left, but get on his list. That's Sharif Mangana Steel, and get on the list for that because that knife is superior. It's awesome. Leon Natoyer, nice to have you here, Leon. Hey, everyone, he says. Well, he says, hi, everyone. Hi, man. I hope you're doing well. I've EDC'd cold steels for 18 years. What's your favorite one, Cliff? Let me know. I mean, to EDC. Do you like the big ones? I've got a great, I love the big, here. This is the only big cold steel folder I have out right now. It's got that snaggletooth on it, which I have on here for testing. It works great for opening up this knife. You know, you can use the Quillian too, but this one is a little bit more sure. Some people think it looks weird on there. I've kind of grown to think it looks kind of cool. And you could use it as a blade catch, you know, when you're dueling. Chad, good to have you here, Chad. Kolodechek. Wait, Kolodechek. Let me know how you pronounce that phonetically. Any T-Kells in the vicinity? Oh, my man. All right. Yeah, I think the only T-Kel I have out tonight, and I've been showing it off quite a bit tonight, but I'm going to show it again. Oh, I got 2 T-Kells out tonight, and that's shocking considering I usually have a lot more out here. But this is the new T-Kel DP1, but this one has the beautiful jute wrap from Tom Nugent of Knives by Nuge. I got to put a little leather fob on it because it really is small. It's a 2-finger knife for a little more grip. And then on the other side of the spectrum, I think from smallest to largest, there's the Sapper, my new Sapper. These are the 2 T-Kells I got at Blade Show this year. This one I bought. This one was given to me. And man alive, I'm so grateful for that. I've wanted that knife for so long. And so I love that thing. So those are the T-Kells I have on me tonight. Oh, you can get a T-Kel knife with our affiliate link, TheKnifeJunkie.com/T-Kel. And you save 10% off your purchase with the coupon code Bob DeMarco, all one word, all caps. And then I get a little kickback, and then Tim gets a sale. So everyone benefits. All us great guys benefit from your purchase. So yeah, gotta talk about that. What else? Here's a new favorite that I got right before Blade Show, but this one has also been getting a lot of play time and pocket time. This one right here, the Ferrell. Call a day check. Oh, call a day check. Okay. Call a day check. Okay. Chad, call a day check. Thank you. I will try and remember that. Call a day check. Cliff says folder Finwolf design made. I'm sorry. Folder Finwolf fixed blade, the Recon. Okay, so those are the Recon one and that fixed blade. Kyle Coonley, how you doing, sir? Good to have you here. What up, Bob? Hope your week is going well. Thank you, Kyle. I just put a new clip on my perfected Perfrico. Kyle does beautiful sharpening work, and he double-edged my Perfrico, which is criminally single-edged because it's such a beautiful dagger. And also, from all testings I've seen other people do, super robust, like oddly robust for a thin dagger. I had that second edge put on by Kyle. Thank you so much, Kyle. This has made this one of my favorite production knives of all time. I love this, and it's because of you. Check out Kyle Coonley on Instagram and get on his list for sharpening because he does a beautiful job. Matt Lamana says, yes, thank you, Bob and Jim, for the knife tip. The kukri deep dive article. Yeah, really cool. Have one my grandfather brought home from World War II. Nice. PTO, and it's a blade near and dear to me. Very cool. Keep them coming. Matt, I'm glad you appreciate it. Yeah, this is the ferrule. I'm going to put this right here. This is the Pinkerton ferrule. This is a prototype. He will be going into production with this. So if you like this beautiful titanium folder, this ferrule, it'll be made by Concept, and go check it out. Go get on his list on his website. One of the coolest folding pecals ever, and it fits really nice into the hand. Speaking of Tops knives, Bob, what do you think of the new Abanico from the mind of the Filipino martial artist Grandmaster Bram Frank? Looks interesting, though I'm not familiar with the gentleman. So I've been aware of his knife designs for a long time. I believe Spyderco did a Bram Frank model years ago. It had that same sort of mountainous peak you see on all of his knives, whether fixed or folder. On the folders, that can be used to open up like a wave off of your opponent. So you've got this big jimped peak in the middle of the blade. You can hit with it and then grab and open the blade. And I met him once 2 years ago, and he talked with me for quite a while. Invited him on the show. I don't know. We lost touch. I got to try and get him back on. But a very interesting dude and pretty, capable. I like the new Abanico from Tops. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the pommel, because the pommel is sharp, and I like pommels that I can put my thumb on if I use reverse grip. But that wouldn't, if I got that and altered it, it wouldn't be the first Tops I've altered, just for my own taste. Chad Kolodaychek says, damn, definitely smaller to large. Those are awesome blades. Yeah, I agree. They do such great work, and they're such good people. I love supporting them, and I love, we have a great symbiotic relationship, let's put it that way, because, yeah, I talk about him, but he hooked me up with knives and friendship and collaboration. It's awesome. Gary Bucco says, large Voyager drop point in Osten. I do love that knife. And I say this often, it's the only Voyager with jimping. I would love to see them put jimping on the other Voyagers. Carry it every day, says Gary. And that's also the one that is not full flat ground. They're all full flat ground in the Voyager series. On the XL, no, that's wrong. That's not right. Okay, everything I just said, forget. Kyle Coonley says, gonna make me blush. Well, you do good work, and it's Klingenwerk. That's how you find his Jim, would you put his Kyle Coonley back up real quick so we can see his avatar? Yeah, Klingenwerk. So Klingenwerk, Klingenwerk sharpening. And I believe there might be an underscore in there. But anyway, put Klingenwerk in there and you'll find him on Instagram. Adrian Fighter 35 says, does anybody else sharpen knives, play guitar, and drink beer while watching this show? Because it's pretty fun if you do. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. That sounds perfect, man. I wouldn't mind a beer, a brewski right now, but I was so full after dinner. Craig Vincent says, Kyle is the man. I couldn't agree more. All right, that's just about going to wrap it up. Let's say goodnight. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming. It's so much fun. So on Sunday, we're releasing episode 604 of the Knife Junkie podcast. It's with Eddie of OEG EDC. Great guy. We were talking about Aaron Bieber before. I was introduced to Eddie by Aaron. We have an awesome conversation. He's a cool dude. Another former tattoo artist turned knife maker. Speaking of which, I have a new one coming to me any day now from Savage Creature Defense Tools, and I'm very excited. So he makes some really cool stuff. Kyle is also very generous with his knife sharpening knowledge, says Craig Vincent. So tap in and take advantage. Roman M, I drink whiskey and sharpen knives. Oh, yes. That sounds like a good evening to me. Have a great night, all. Hey, Cliff, thanks for joining us. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. And enjoy the summer. We're about to not lose. Our 2-week reigning streak is about to be up here. So I'm excited. Jacob says, good night, brothers. Good night to you, Jacob. Hope you have a great week and great weekend. Adrian Fighter 35, and to your better half, good night to you, sir. He says, good night, Bob, Jim, and all fellow junkies out there. Stay sharp, everyone. Thanks for another great show, guys. It's our pleasure. Good night and good knife, says Terminator Joe. Good knife to you, sir, and good knife to all of you. It's been a pleasure. All right, for Jim working his magic behind the switcher, I'm Bob DeMarco saying, until next time, don't take dull for an answer.